What up, y'all? My son is extremely sensitive. He's got this teacher. He doesn't even have this teacher once a week. She's like a specials teacher. So she's what they refer to as specials, like anything that is like a specialty subject, like music, art, gym, and then you have technology, at least in my son's school. And so those are subjects that their main teacher is not qualified to teach. He's in second grade, so his second grade teacher is, she's qualified to teach all the normal stuff, science, math, history, whatever. But she's not qualified to teach technology to the level that the kids need to learn it. So they go to a different classroom where there's a bunch of computers, and the technology teacher teaches them. And so we've got this technology teacher, and he doesn't like her. He says she's mean. And to be perfectly honest with you, I personally do not think that she's the nicest person. She doesn't smile. She is, if I was his age, I probably wouldn't like her either. Let's put it that way. But I don't think that I would be really upset about it in the morning and want to be refusing to go to school because of my technology teacher. But that's just the way my son is, He takes everything personally. Like if somebody looks at him a certain way, he thinks, oh, they hate my guts or whatever. And it gives him severe anxiety. So anyway, my son, he wakes up this morning and he's talking about he has a headache and he doesn't want to go to school and all this stuff. And we already kind of know his MO. We know when he's pulling that crap. When it's really not necessarily legit, and that he's just using a so-called headache or a so-called stomachache or whatever as an excuse because he doesn't want, that there's something at school he's trying to avoid. Now, again, he's only in second grade. I mean, he's not like a high school student pulling this crap. So anyway, we made him go to school, of course, because, we don't accommodate him with regard to that. We promote growth with our child. If our child is having a tough time with something, we help him get over that thing, but we still make him get over that thing. And that's a fine line to walk. It's an important thing to do with your children, is to don't accommodate them to where you stunt their growth, to where you're like, okay, it's okay. It's like some parents, and I know parents like this, not all parents do this, but some parents are so accommodative that they'll be like, I need to get my son out of that teacher's class. I need to get him out of that class because she's ruining his day and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to move him to a new school if they don't, accommodate me and blah, blah. Unfortunately, there's a good amount of parents like that. And are the intentions good? Of course they are. But the method is bad. And that's usually how it goes with human beings, is that the intention is good, the method is bad. What's the intention? The intention is that I want to protect my child. I want to keep my child from experiencing pain. Now, who doesn't want their child to experience joy and happiness and pleasure? We all do, right? Every single one of us want our children to be happy. But if you come to reality, you understand that not every situation is going to make your child happy. And if you want your child to be successful later in life, you have to allow them to go through certain things where they come out on the other end, not necessarily happier, but maybe tougher. Maybe they learn something about themselves. I went into this situation thinking that I was a horrible person because this teacher was mean to me. But guess what I learned? This teacher is actually a miserable person, and she just probably has the wrong job, because she doesn't like kids. And so it's not me, it's her. Now that's a tough lesson for a 7-year-old to learn. Granted, it's a very tough lesson because 7-year-olds don't think on those levels. They just take everything personally. But most kids don't take things as personally as my son does. Most kids can brush things off a little bit and be like, she's mean, but whatever, I'm just gonna ignore her. But my son, he just isn't like that, and it's got nothing to do with the way we're raising him. It's all his personality, because we have another son who is like pretty much the opposite of him. Like my other son, you'd be like, yeah, she's mean, but whatever, I just deal with her. That's how, because my other son had the exact same teacher, and he knows that she's not nice. Which, again, it blows me away that somebody who isn't nice to children chose to be a school teacher. Whatever. Certain people choose their careers for the wrong reasons. And, the bottom line is there's nothing we can do about it. If she does something extremely inappropriate, like if she swears at my kid or she hits my kid or she says something inappropriate, yeah, we can maybe try to get her fired, but I don't think that's what's going on. I think she's just a miserable person. My wife and I know this lady. We don't know her really well, but we've definitely had we've had a few interactions with her where we're just like, So most kids don't like her, but most kids can handle her. My son just can't handle her. So anyway, He's got technology today. He's freaking out about it. He's crying, and he only has technology once every 2 weeks. So it's I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to put things in perspective. I'm like, look, dude, there's 24 hours in a day. There's 24 hours in a day. You have this teacher for one of those hours, which means that 23 hours you're either at home, sleeping, you're at baseball practice, you're playing with your friends on the playground, or you're in other classes that you do like. So it's this is like a stumbling block to you. It's something that you're dreading happening, but it's not going to happen all day. It's not going to happen every day. And it's just, you got to be in a different state of mind when you're experiencing things that are unpleasant to you. You have to go into a different state of mind. You have to put your guard up. And you have to think differently when you're in certain people's company. You have to think differently. You have to think, it's not me, it's them. It's not me, it's them. And I think that's a lesson that a lot of us as adults can learn, even, because whether we like to admit it or not, a lot of us don't learn that lesson. Think about your situation. Who in your life, and I know there's somebody in your life, there's probably more than one person in your life, who you just don't want to be around. You just dread being around. But every once in a while, you got to be around them. Whether it's Christmas time or whether it's, whatever it is, you got to be around them every once in a while. You're going to see him at a funeral. You're going to see, a family member that you can't stand and who possibly can't stand you either. And you got to go into a different state of mind. Now, do we like being in those situations? Of course not. Do we want to get the hell out of those situations as soon as possible? Of course we do. Of course we do. But if we're going to completely avoid that situation when we really shouldn't be avoiding that situation, then, these are lessons that we need to learn too. Is just bite the bullet, go through it, and be in a different state of mind. Just choose something positive to focus on. And focus on that until it's over. All right, y'all. See ya.